X-Men issue 2 sees Scott return home and to his children, telling them that 100 miles off the coast of Krakoa, another island has appeared, and not only is Krakoa moving towards the island, but the new island is filled with large monsters, so it's up to the team to do a recon mission to the island. The family fly over the island and wonder why Krakoa is heading towards it, but the one person who could tell them that is galaxies away, so Cypher won't be any help. Cable hopes that his weapons will be enough as they arrive at the island, seeing a giant monster inside the volcano at the center. Landing, Scott says that they have 5 hours before Krakoa arrives, so Rachel tries to tap into the island, learning that the wildlife is mostly low in intelligence, but there is something that feels human-like in nature near the center. Hours later, they slowly make their way through the island, but it will take them longer if they continue this route, so Scott blasts the path through the forest with his concussive blasts. Cable takes point as Rachel and Scott talk about the islands near Hawaii and on Chandler. Nathan soon spots a strange rhino-like creature, but doesn't think it will harm them. However, soon the rhino is eaten by a snake-like creature. Knowing that that will definitely hurt them, the family attack it. At the Arak Moor in the center of the island, a being knows something is on the island. The being's mother says that this place is soft compared to the hard place that he grew up, and this place will offer them many trials for her son, and war is all he has known, but nothing can prepare him for this. The flaming being says that there are people coming and it's time for her son to make her proud. 1 hour until Krakoa makes contact, the Summers family manage to wrangle some of the rhinos to ride. Nathan and Rachel argue over Nathan's methods of biting when his guns run dry in a fight, but Scott quiets his children as the white being appears in front of them. The being talks, but the family can't understand it, only hearing sounds like it's singing. The being thinks that they are in pain with their grunts, and that pain is something that they should wear with pride as armor. Nathan has an idea, giving the being a gift. Scott wonders what he gave him, learning his son gifted the being a thermal grenade, which the being curiously activates, causing a huge explosion. Rachel scolds Nathan for doing such a thing, but Scott tells them to stop arguing, as the being, who is unharmed, says that they have angered it, saying that it is a summoner as giant creatures like octopus and crabs appear, sent to attack the X-Men, as the being says that they are the son of Araco and no one attacks them and lives. Scott tells Rachel to try and talk to Krakoa, but they cannot. But Scott tells his daughter to download Krakoan into the mind of the being so they can talk. She does so and the being asks why they try to destroy him. Scott says that he didn't want them to fight him and simply wants to know why Krakoa is coming to the island. The summoner asks if he loves someone and Scott says he does, and asks if he wants to be with that person, and if Scott understands that, then he understands why the islands are moving together. Krakoa soon arrives, joining with its partner, becoming one large island. The being says that it's how it should be as they wander off into the island, telling the Summers family that they live there now. Later, the being meets with Apocalypse, knowing the being is to be one of his children. The being says that the enemy has come and soon Araco will fall. Apocalypse wonders which of his children is the mother of the child and learns that it was the Horseman War. Hugging his grandson, Apocalypse says that he can and will save them, both those of Krakoa and those of Araco. X-Men issue 2 was a big departure from the first book, in that I was sure we were going to get a follow-up with the Orchis mission and everything that happened with that, with the X-Men dying and being reborn and whatnot. But instead we got a neat story about Araco making a comeback and reuniting with Krakoa and making the island that much bigger. I love the Summers family getting to come together for this and getting a little quality time together, although I found Nathan's, for better lack of a word, idiocy to be a little grating at times. Sometimes it was funny, but then he does something like gives this being who doesn't know their customs a grenade, which leads to them being blown up. Like, why would he do something like that? Like, that is just utterly stupid. The idea of Krakoa and also having Apocalypse working in the background to, I guess, bring them together or try and bring Araco back is really interesting, and I can't wait for their backstory to be explained more than it was in House of X when we got little hints at their backstory. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.